towards the beginning of the book where I'm talking about being a street performer, which I was for about 5 or 6 years. I was a living statue. I know you guys have many of those in Edinburgh. I was a white bride living statue for a while. And I discuss it a bit in the beginning of the book because I think I got quite an education being a street performer. People yelled abuse at me occasionally, sometimes from the sidewalk, sometimes from passing traffic. The most common insults hurled my way included, but were not limited to, and it also really helps to imagine these in the Boston accent, which I will now do for you. Nice costume, you fucking retard! Get off the sideway, you fucking freak! What is this, Halloween? Ha 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 ha. And a very 80s flavored insult that was flung at me a few times. Get a life. And there was this one that was shouted at me a few times for passing cars. Get a job. Of all the insults hurled in my direction, get a job hurt the most. I took it personally because I had a job. I was doing my job. I thought I was doing my job. This was a weird job, but it was still a fucking job. It was a job that I had created out of thin air with no permission from some higher authority, but I was still working, and people were paying me. Didn't that kind of make it a job? And I would think, as my face burned with resentment, that I was at least making a consistent income, which made the get a job insult hurt even more. I'm making plenty of money, probably more than you fucking asshole. I would think all hurt and defensive. Brene Brown, a social scientist and TED speaker who's researched shame, worthiness, courage, and vulnerability, recently published a book called Daring Greatly, which I fortuitously picked up at a Boston bookstore just as I was beginning to write this book. And I was so blown away by the commonalities between our books that I tweeted her, praising her work and asking her if she would give me the book forward for this book, which she actually did, and it's really wonderful. And she writes, the perception that vulnerability is weakness is the most widely accepted myth about vulnerability and the most dangerous. When we spend our lives pushing away and protecting ourselves from feeling vulnerable and from being perceived as too emotional, we feel contempt when others are less capable or willing to mask their feelings. Suck it up and soldier on. We've come to the point where, rather than respecting and appreciating the courage and daring behind vulnerability, we let our fear and discomfort become judgment and criticism. Following this logic, this is me again, following this logic, we can assume that the likelihood of someone yelling, get a job, from their passing car is indirectly proportionate to their own crippling fear about getting up on the figure of box themselves. Or to strip it down to its essence, hate is fear.